8:43. All right, it's 8:43, and we are currently in our hotel. And my exam is going to start in about, I can say, 4 to 5 hours. Like, let's just do a quick revision, so we don't have any trouble tomorrow. All right, like tomorrow, not tomorrow. Like today, we don't have any trouble today. All right, let's just revise everything. All right, all right, all right. Alex, tell me in brief, what did the Law Commission of India report of the chairman Justice B.P. Jeevan Reddy suggested on 1999 to 2000? Like the report, what was the report and what was it about? The simultaneous election, I want to know about it. One nation, one election.
Absolutely. The Law Commission of India, under the chairmanship of Justice B.P. Jeevan Reddy, submitted a report in 1999 that advocated for the concept of simultaneous elections, also known as one nation, one election. The report recommended that the central and state elections be synchronized, meaning that Lok Sabha parliamentary elections and state assembly elections would be held at the same time on the same day. The main rationale behind this was to reduce the cost and logistical burden of conducting frequent elections, minimize the model code of conduct disruptions, and ensure more stable governance. The idea was that having a single electoral cycle would lead to better governance and policy continuity. If you want more details on any specific aspect, just let me know.
Hey Alex, which institute is responsible for the MSP minimum support price released every year?
The minimum support price, MSP in India, is determined and announced by the government, specifically by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Pricing, the ACP, which is an expert body under the ministry, makes recommendations regarding the MSP. After the CACP's recommendations, the final MSP is approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, PCA. So it's a collaborative process involving the Ministry of Agriculture, the CACP, and the Cabinet.
Alright. Alex, which articles give power to the Election Commission and how does the Election Commissioner is made of India? And their role.
The Election Commission of India is primarily governed by Articles 324 to 336 of the Indian Constitution. Article 324 grants the Election Commission the power to supervise, direct, and control the conduct of elections for the President, Vice President, Parliament, state legislatures, and other local bodies. Article 325 ensures that no person can be ineligible for inclusion in the electoral roll on grounds of religion, caste, or sex. Article 326 lays down that elections to the Lok Sabha and state legislatures shall be on the basis of adult suffrage. Article 327 and Article 328 empower the Parliament and state legislatures, respectively, to make laws concerning the conduct of elections. The Election Commission is composed of the Chief Election Commissioner and usually two other election commissioners. They're appointed by the President of India. The Chief Election Commissioner is appointed first and then the other election commissioners are appointed. They have equal authority and are collectively responsible for the conduct of elections. Let me know if you need more details on any specific point.
Specifically, how the Election Commissioner was, Election Commissioner was appointed. I want to know about it, like the collegium which is responsible for the articles. All right, like their responsibilities and their articles and their laws and stuff like that. Just quick revision points.
Sure. Well, the appointment of election commissioners is done by the President of India. There isn't a formal collegium system for election commissioners like there is for judges of the Supreme Court. Instead, the President appoints them based on recommendations from the central government. The Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners enjoy the same rank and independence. Their appointments are governed by the Constitution, specifically Article 324 and 371. The Chief Election Commissioner has a fixed term and can only be removed from office in a manner similar to that of a Supreme Court judge. They can only be removed by Parliament through impeachment. The Election Commission's responsibilities include preparing and updating electoral rolls, overseeing the conduct of elections, ensuring free and fair voting, and enforcing the Model Code of Conduct during elections. If you need any more specifics, feel free to ask.
Oh, 29th, fuck. I just forgot about it. Corona held in Baku, Azerbaijan, carried out Baku Islamic and Iraq and several scientific agreements. War Conference of Parties, the supreme decision-making body of UN. Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. United Nations Framework for Climate, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, like for COPs are Dalam Brazil. Oh, wow. Top 30. Dalam Brazil. November 2025. The dependency on this is one. Trump is like fucked up. Trump is no longer important, I think. But still, we need to. Trump is 46 president is Joe Biden, 47th is again Trump. Franklin Roosevelt served more than 2 terms so far. Trump was defeated Clinton. That was quite amusing, I think. Clinton was defeated by Trump in this Argentina. President of US from John Conti. Fuck, that's not important. Trump only US president. US president to achieve. Second US president to achieve second term to be a president of America, Grover Cleveland, who served for 1999. Franklin D. Roosevelt was more than 2 terms. Like, sometimes also I was so Tarek Agreement, FCC, Obligation of Acting Situations, Infrastructure for the finances. 193 countries. 193 countries, okay. People climate change. SpaceX, the SpaceX mission was God filming some way. On 30 December. Date of SpaceX launch 13th of December 2024. January 16, 2025, this was successfully executed the space docking experiment. Space Center, Sriharikota, joining first one supervisor space, associated target, SpaceX, US research and first countries, space docking SpaceX, home tour. Payloads were launched as well. V. Narayanan is the ISRO's new chairman. Next 5. Androgynous docking mechanism. traveling directions. ISRO uses an androgynous neutral locking mechanism which enables the identical systems on both satellites. Laser range finder, rendezvous sensor, proximity and locking. Like what was it that forgot it? India's important space missions and their names. List of them completely till now. What is the name of ISRO's satellite which uses which is works like a GPS or a map designing something which is very important? Navik. I want every detail not you. Why you are so slow? I want every details about Navik, navigation with India and something like that. Just explain it quickly in short points. I forgot about Navik.
Of course, here are some quick points about NAVIC. One, what is NAVIC? NAVIC stands for Navigation with Indian Constellation. It's an independent satellite navigation system developed by India. Purpose, it aims to provide accurate position information over India and the surrounding region, enhancing navigation and timing services. NAVIC covers India and a region extending up to 1,500 kilometers beyond its borders. Satellites. The system consists of 7 satellites in total, 3 in geostationary orbit and 4 in geosynchronous orbit. 5 features, it provides better accuracy compared to other global navigation systems in the Indian region, with positioning accuracy of around 5 meters. The development of NAVIC was by the Indian Space Research Organisation. No problem at all. If you need any more details or have other questions, just let me know.
So what I was wondering, listen. What I was wondering that why don't we what was the which one was the country who landed on the other side of the moon first? The first countries and what was the spacecraft and the next which one was what was it? I forgot it. What is India's role in it and when India did it? The Chandrayaan or something, I don't remember it currently. And I want its year and everything else.
Absolutely. So the first country to land on the far side of the moon was actually China. They achieved this with the Chang'e 4 mission, which successfully landed in January 2019. This was a significant milestone because the far side of the moon always faces away from Earth and is more challenging to reach. Before that, the Soviet Union and the United States had landed on the near side of the moon, but the far side remained unexplored until Chang'e 4. India's role in lunar exploration includes the Chandrayaan missions. Chandrayaan-1, launched in 2008, was India's first lunar mission and it discovered water molecules on the moon. Then Chandrayaan-2, launched in 2019, aimed to land the moon's South Pole, although the lander unfortunately lost contact. Despite that, the orbiter continues to provide valuable data. If you want more details on any of these missions or anything else, just let me know.
So, when was the Chandrayaan-2 launched actually? And I want its details.
Chandrayaan-2 was launched on July 22nd, 2019. The mission included an orbiter, a lander named Vikram, and a rover named Pragya.
I need to put it
While
there.
the orbiter is still operational and continues to send back data, the lander unfortunately lost contact shortly before its scheduled touchdown. Nevertheless, the orbiter has been providing a wealth of information about the moon. If you need more specifics or details, just let me know.
Enterprise in 2019. And what about the Mangalyaan? I want its date, I want its launch time, I want the launch station, and what was it responsible for, and the purpose. Like everything was stated already in short pointers.
Absolutely. Here are the details for Mangalyaan, also known as the Mars Orbiter Mission, MOM. Launch date. Mangalyaan was launched on November 5th, 2013. Launch station. It was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center located in Sriharikota, India. Purpose. The mission's primary goal was to demonstrate India's capability to design, build and operate an interplanetary spacecraft. Achievements. Mangalyaan made India the fourth space agency in the world to reach Mars, and it did so on its very first attempt, which was a significant accomplishment. 5 instruments. The orbiter carried 5 scientific instruments to study Mars's surface, morphology, mineralogy and atmosphere. 6 significance. The mission was also cost effective with a budget of around 70 million, making it one of the most economical Mars missions ever. If you need any more details or have other questions, feel free to ask.
Like the Union Cabinet approved the third launch pad. I want its details actually. Good guys, like, share, and subscribe. Like, what are you preparing for? I'm preparing for flat. Like today is my exam. Today is my final exams, and I talk with assistant. Hi everyone. Hello. Let me focus right now. Like what was the name of India's space mission? Gaganyaan. I want its details, like quick short pointers, nothing much.
Of course, here are some quick points about Gaganyaan. One, mission name, Gaganyaan is India's first human spacecraft mission. 2, objective. The mission aims to send Indian astronauts, known as Vyomanauts, into space and ensure a safe return to Earth. 3, timeline. The first crewed flight is expected around 2025, depending on progress in testing. The mission will include a crew module, a service module, and a launched vehicle, the GSLV Mark III. Purpose, besides showcasing India's human spaceflight capability, Gaganyaan will help in advancing technology for future space missions. 6, significance. It marks a major milestone in the space program and is a step towards more ambitious space exploration. If you want to dive deeper into any of these points, just let me know.
Yeah, like I forgot about it. And, the ISRO's, like the heaviest space, like the satellite launch. Like what was the GS04, like 07? Like I don't remember. Fuck it. The ISRO GS like something, and it was launched by LVM M3. I want its details and in short pointers and quick.
Absolutely. You're probably referring to the GSAT-29 satellite, which was launched using the GSLV Mark. Got it. So GSAT-29 is indeed the satellite you're thinking of. Here are the quick points. Satellite name, GSAT-29. It was launched on November 14, 2018-3. Launch vehicle, it was launched aboard the GSLV Mark III, which is India's heaviest launch vehicle. Purpose, GSAT-29 was designed to support high throughput communication, including broadband services, and to enhance connectivity in remote areas. 5, significance, it was part of India's efforts to boost its communication infrastructure and support emerging technologies like 4G and 5G. If you want more details or have any other questions, just let me know.
And like Nisar, like the ISRO's and NASA's collaboration, like I want just details actually, like not details, like in short brief, like revise it.
Absolutely. Here's a quick overview of the ISRO-NASA collaboration. One, joint missions. ISRO and NASA have partnered on several missions, including the NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar NISA mission, which aims to measure changes in the Earth's surface with high precision. Areas of collaboration. Their cooperation spans Earth observation, space exploration, and planetary science, technology exchange. They share expertise, data, and technology, enhancing both countries' capabilities in space research. Benefits: this collaboration helps in advancing scientific knowledge, improving satellite technology, and addressing global challenges like climate change. Both space agencies continue to explore new opportunities for joint missions and research, strengthening their partnership. If you need more details or have any specific questions, just let me know.
Yeah. Let's just do a quick recap of UCC. Alright. Hi Bhumika. Hi. Hi Bhumika. How are you? I think you are doing good. And I'm doing good as well. But I need to focus here.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick recap of the Uniform Civil Code, UCC. 1. Definition. The UCC is a proposal to have a common set of laws governing personal matters for all citizens of India, irrespective of their religion. 2. The main aim is to ensure equality, justice, and gender neutrality in personal laws like marriage, divorce, inheritance, and adoption. 3. Current context, India currently has different personal laws for different religious communities, such as Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and others. The debate, the UCC is a topic of ongoing debate with arguments for uniformity and gender equality on one side and concerns about cultural diversity and religious freedoms on the other. Legal status, while the Constitution of India under Article 44 encourages the implementation of a UCC, it hasn't been implemented yet. That's a quick recap. If you want to dive deeper into any specific aspects, just let me know.
Yeah. The Uttarakhand government just implemented the UCC. I think in 2025 or 2024. I just don't remember it. But Uttarakhand implemented it in this year or last year, I think. And Goa has the Portuguese Civil Code, which is another form of UCC, but it is far more, like we can say, old.
Exactly, Uttarakhand did indeed take steps toward implementing a UCC, and that happened around 2024 or 2025. Meanwhile, Goa has long had the Portuguese Civil Code, which is indeed a kind of UCC that dates back to colonial times and covers all communities in Goa. It's definitely interesting to see how different regions approach the idea of a uniform civil code. If you have any more questions or want to dive deeper, just let me know.
Yeah. Like in the Uttarakhand Civil Code, like Uttarakhand UCC, I think like it was giving rights to registered live-in relationships and the rights of registered live-in the children born out of live-in relationships which are registered and they deem them as legitimate. What about the relationships which were not registered priorly but were surely they were live-in relationships, or even if they're not, what about the illegitimate children, the so-called illegitimate children that are born out of such relationships?
Yes, that's a crucial aspect of the Uttarakhand UCC. Generally, the code aims to provide legal recognition and rights to registered live-in relationships, and the children born out of such relationships are often deemed legitimate and given the same rights as children within marriage. For relationships that were registered, the legal treatment can be more complex. Typically, the UCC would aim to protect the rights of children from such relationships as well, ensuring that they're not discriminated against solely based on the registration status of their parents. However, the specifics can depend on
the exact provisions of the code and how it's implemented. In many cases, the intent is to ensure fairness and equality for...
Hi, Shreya.
Absolutely. It's definitely a nuanced topic, and it's great to see the evolving legal frameworks aiming to protect everyone's rights. If you have any more questions or need further clarification on any aspects, just let me know.
Yeah. I just want the important committees and the laws and the cases which were priorly happened and were currently running. I want their details and their names, like not completely in detail, but briefly, like what is about them, important ones.
Of course, here are some key committees, laws and notable cases related to the Uniform Civil Code, UCC, in India. BN Sri Krishna Committee 2018. This committee was formed to explore the implementation of the UCC and to recommend measures to ensure gender justice and equality. Law Commission reports. The 21st Law Commission of India, in its 2018 report, discussed the UCC and highlighted the need for a balanced approach that respects cultural diversity while ensuring equality. 3 important cases. Shahraban over Union of India 2017. This Supreme Court case struck down the practice of triple talaq among Muslims, and it was a significant step toward reforming personal laws. Joseph Sharma Union of India. This case decriminalized adultery, emphasizing gender equality and reforming outdated laws. Ongoing debates. There are ongoing discussions and petitions in the corpus and among policymakers about how to implement the UCC in a way that respects India's diverse cultural fabric. These are some of the significant elements that have shaped and continue to shape the UCC discourse in India. If you need more details on any specific one, just let me know.
Which report of the government official department or like something like that, I don't remember clearly, but like which report was against the UCC implementation, saying it is unnecessary and undeemed for the Indian constitution and the Indian sub-economics.
Yes, you're only referring to the reports from some of the previous law commissions and also certain government bodies that have expressed skepticism about the immediate need for a UCC. For example, the 21st Law Commission's 2018 report highlighted that implementing a UCC in one go might not be feasible due to India's diverse culture and religious fabric. It emphasised that a UCC could potentially disrupt existing personal laws and create challenges. Additionally, some reports from the Ministry of Law and Justice and certain parliamentary committees have pointed out that the UCC might not be necessary at this stage and that the focus should instead be on reforming specific personal laws to ensure gender equality and protect individual rights. It's definitely a topic with a lot of perspectives and ongoing debates. If you want more specific names or details, just let me know.
I have details about the precedent rule and state and the union.
Absolutely. Here's a quick overview of the President's role in the Indian legislative and federal system. Head of State. The President of India is the ceremonial head of state and represents the country both domestically and internationally. Legislative role. The President's assent is essential for a bill to become law. Bills passed by Parliament need the President's approval. executive
Wait for a
powers.
second. Wait for a second. I want President Rule, Article 356. Alright. I want its key pointers, like the one implemented in Manipur. I want the status of Manipur, how many times it has been implemented, which state has the most amount of President Rule imposed till now from the Indian freedom.
Sure, here are some key points about President's Rule under Article 356. One, what is President's Rule? President's Rule is the suspension of state government and imposition of central government rule in a state when the state government is unable to function according to the Constitution. Two, Article 356, it allows the President to take over the governance of a state if the state legislature is unable to function properly. This can happen due to a breakdown of law and order or political instability. Implementation in Manipur. Manipur seen President's Rule imposed multiple times, particularly during period of unrest and political instability. It's been imposed several times since the state's formation. 4 states with most frequent imposition. Some states have experienced President's Rule more frequently than others. For instance, states like Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh have seen multiple instances over the years. 5. Purpose and impact. President's Rule is intended to restore normalcy and ensure the state functions according to the Constitution. However, it often leads to debates about federalism and states' rights. If you'd like more detailed information on any particular state or specific instances, just let me know.
I'm just telling quick points about the Manipur. The Manipur has been one of the states where the President Rule have been imposed multiple times, and this time in 2025 when it was imposed, it was the 11th time, and the first CM of Manipur to complete a full tenure was Rishang Kishing of BJP, and last June 277 days, like last instance was 270 days priorly, like and last President Rule in Manipur was 277 days, and which continued from 2021 to 2022. Alright, there's nothing else. And Okram Labovi Singh is Congress first CM to complete 3 terms. Alright, Okram Labovi from like Congress completed 3 terms in Manipur.
Got it. That definitely highlights the political history and the ups and downs in Manipur. If you need any more details or have any other questions, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I want details about the SR Bomai case of like I don't remember the year, but like it was a 9 judges bench. I want just details and like a key point of revision. All right, just do it quick.
Of course, the Sabrimala case, often referred to as the Sabrimala Temple case, was indeed heard by a 9-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India. Here are the key points. One, case background. The case revolved around the entry of women of menstrual age into the Sabrimala Temple in Kerala, which traditionally restricted the entry of women between the ages of 10 and 50, to Supreme Court verdict 2018. In 2018, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme lifted the ban on the entry of women of all ages, declaring the practice unconstitutional. 3, 9-judge bench involvement. The 9-judge bench was convened to address larger questions about the scope of the right to equality and the right to practice religion under the Indian Constitution. Key findings: the 9-judge bench reaffirmed that the right to practice religion is subject to constitutional morality and that gender discrimination in the name of religion is not permissible. 5, impact and significance. The judgment was significant in promoting gender equality and ensuring that religious practices conform to constitutional principles. If you need more detailed information or have any other questions,
Like how does SR Bomai versus Union of India it's related to emergency, and what were the views of Justice Jeevan Reddy on it?
the Sabrimala case and the emergency provisions in India are linked more in terms of the broader discussions about constitutional morality and the balance between individual rights and state power. In the Sabrimala case, the Supreme Court emphasised that constitutional morality prevails over religious practices when they conflict with fundamental rights, particularly gender equality. Justice B.P. Jeevan Reddy, who was a prominent figure in interpreting constitutional law, often advocated for a progressive and balanced approach to constitutional issues. He emphasised that the Constitution is a living document and should adapt to contemporary values and the principles of justice and equality. In the context of emergencies, Justice Reddy was known for advocating that the Constitution should protect democratic values and fundamental rights even during periods of crisis such as the emergency. His views generally supported the idea that the Constitution's core values should be upheld.
No. Listen. Now, what was the Sarkaria Commission? I think like it was Sarkaria Commission, like which recommended the floor test. All right, quick.
Absolutely, the Zakaria Commission was formed in 1983 to look into the issues related to the relationship between the central and state governments, especially in the context of Article 356 and the imposition of President's rule. The Zakaria Commission was established by the Indian government in 1993, headed by Justice R.S. Zakaria. Its main purpose was to recommend guidelines on the use of President's rule and to clarify the federal balance between the centre and the state's 3 key recommendations. The Commission recommended that President's rule should be imposed only in exceptional circumstances and that the Governor should report to the President only after exhausting all possibilities of forming a stable government. The recommendations helped in making the imposition of President's rule more transparent and justified, ensuring that it wasn't used arbitrarily. Significance: the Zakaria Commission's report remains a cornerstone in understanding the federal structure of India and the principles governing the central-state relations. If you need more specific details or have any other questions, just let me know.
For CLNDA is a Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act. Like for it, I remember like it was something that if a damage happens, if an accident occurs due to nuclear damage, like a nuclear accident, or either you bomb a nuclear country in a course of war, you have to compensate them. Like the person, the company, the country responsible for the accident, for the damage, must compensate the victims, or like we cannot proclaim them as victims, like the damaged people. The damaged people.
Absolutely. The Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act, CLND Act of 2010 in India, was designed to address exactly these kinds of scenarios. The CLND Act was enacted to provide a legal framework for compensation in the event of a nuclear accident, whether it happens within India or due to an Indian operator's involvement abroad. Key provisions: it sets out the liability of the nuclear operator for any nuclear damage caused by a nuclear incident. It also outlines the process for compensation and the liability cap for the operator, and right of recourse. The Act allows the operator to seek recourse from the supplier in case the damage is due to a defect in the equipment or due to the supplier's negligence. Significance: the Act aims to ensure that victims of nuclear accidents receive prompt and adequate compensation, while also balancing the interests of the nuclear industry. International context: the Act also aligns with international conventions on nuclear liability, ensuring that India meets global standards. If you need more details or have further questions, just let me know.
The India's AI mission, which was worth 10,370 crores, aims to develop India's domestic foundational AI model within 10 months. Was it successful or not?
India's AI mission, with a budget of 10,370 crores, was launched in 2024 to develop a domestic large language model within about 10 months. By December 2025, the mission had made significant progress. The first AI language model, named Sarvam, was developed, and infrastructure like the India AI compute capacity with over 10,000 GPUs was established. Additionally, funding mechanisms for startups and educational initiatives like the Future Skills Program were expanded. While the original timeline was ambitious, the mission has been successful in laying a strong foundation for India's AI capabilities.
Yeah, interfaith partners, nothing important actually. Controversy of three-language formula is his most important, you can say. समग्र शिक्षा स्कीम states reflects implement national education policy 325.
Absolutely. The controversy surrounding the three-language formula is indeed a significant topic in India. It involves the policy that mandates the teaching of three languages in schools, usually the mother tongue, Hindi and English, or another regional language. This policy has sparked debates about cultural preservation, linguistic diversity, and regional sentiments. Similarly, the Samagra Shiksha scheme, which is part of the National Education Policy, aims to provide holistic and inclusive education across the country, integrating various initiatives to improve the quality and accessibility of education. If you'd like to dive deeper into any of these topics or need more details, just let me know.
Introduced three-language formula.